Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode number 3 of Ranting and Racing. We are your hosts. I am Jonathan Phipps. That man right there is Landon Rock, and as you can tell by how I'm sounding, I'm still slogging through a bit of a cold, but we will manage. And joining us again this week is our friend Pirate Man, and he is waving the flag for what he loves.
Right there.
He is waving
Super Bowl.
Yes, he's okay. So he's waving the flag for what he loves on this Valentine's Day, which is racing, but also for the Super Bowl. Because
The two things that I love today.
yes, the two things that you love. He did call LA winning. I don't recall who I picked for the Super Bowl.
I think you went Cincy because of Joe Burrow.
Bengals.
I did
Oh,
that.
y'all both did the Rams. I picked Bengals.
Oh, okay.
You know, I should count this. For our predictions totals, but I'm gonna be kind of
No. This is racing. This is NASCAR.
Yeah, we'll leave the football to the more professional people. So yes, we didn't have a second of on-track racing this last week, but still, we had probably what's going to be one of the top 5 busiest news weeks in terms of NASCAR. So I'm going to just throw some topics out there and let y'all just lead off with whatever you want. So among some of the stuff that's happened this week, Trevor Bayne coming out of retirement. He had retired from full-time racing back in 2018, though he is now back in the Xfinity series with Joe Gibbs Racing. Thad Moffitt, grandson of Richard Petty, is coming up to the trucks with Richard Petty's sponsor, STP. Four Loko, that famous alcohol, is coming to NASCAR as a sponsor for some God knows reason.
With Ryan Ellis, no less.
Yes. Kyle Busch Motorsports is going to ARCA with Sammy Smith. Jason Kitzmiller coming up to the trucks with from ARCA. We've got Greg Biffle coming back, and we've got a particularly interesting helmet for an ARCA driver at Daytona. So what do y'all want to start with among that list?
I think the biggest thing that you got to start with is NY Racing popping up.
Yes.
Yeah.
This has been – okay, so for those of you who don't know, there's been 2 prime meme teams the last few years, and both of them are finally here. They are finally existing. We showed a couple weeks ago Floyd Mayweather's money team racing, the 50 car. It is now a thing, and it was announced, I believe it was just today or maybe yesterday, that it was announced that NY Racing is coming to be.
With Greg Biffle.
Yes, Greg Biffle will be driving. And it's just it's a yep. There's Lamey, Stan, and Biffle. So I'm just trying to get the scheme punched up here. So there is the car that Biffle will be running for Speedweeks. First of all, it's weird to see Biffle in anything but a Ford. For 2, it's weird to see Biffle in anything other than a 16. So how do y'all feel about the Biff coming out of retirement? It's the first time since, 2017?
17? Yeah.
What do y'all think about
that? I mean, the car is pretty decent. It's an interesting design. I will say, when I first saw it, I went, "Why is Georgia on a car?" But I was like, "I don't remember."
Yeah, that's Right logo, wrong colors.
See, I conversely thought it was the Green Bay Packers as well.
Yeah, I
and
knew
I was
you
like,
were
oh
going
no,
to
that's
say
Green Bay. And I was
logo.
like, oh no, it's not that either.
Yes, it's Grambling State.
Yeah,
Grambling
it's pretty
State.
interesting. I'm glad Biffle's back. He's a good driver. I like Biffle. Kind of missed him. One thing I will say about this car that is something very interesting is if you look right there in front of the rear wheel, the Puma decal, they've got sponsorship from
Yes.
Puma, which is very interesting.
I think, and I might be wrong on this, but I think Puma might have a deal with Grambling State. I'll have to check that later.
That could be true.
I think maybe they do have a deal with Puma, but it's good, like you said, it's good to see Biffle back. He was, all he's got to do is beat 2 MBM cars, and he's in the 500.
And he might make the race on speed if that car is like a third RCR car, because it was prepared in RCR's shop.
Yeah, that's true. But if I think the team that would get the most RCR support would probably be either the 62 or the 50. Excuse me, in order. 62, then 50. So, but yeah, we'll wait and see. I mean, first of all, talking about entry lists, we did get enough cars to send a few home. I know that was a really big worry in some circles that the next gen car coming in and the part shortages wouldn't get us to a full field of 40. But we have 42 on the entry list. And since we're talking entry lists here, let's just jump right into them here, because all three of them dropped today. We had 42 each for the Cup Series and the trucks, and we had 47, I believe, show up for Xfinity. So since we're on the trucks, we'll start with them first. And let me screen share. Excuse me. Let me screen share the thing. Hold up here. This is what happens when you're hosting and producing, or not hosting, but yeah, you're hosting and directing at the same time. I make it work, damn it. I make it work. So anyway, while I'm doing that, let's talk a little bit about the truck race coming up. So how do you think it's going to go? You think it'll be sort of a carbon copy of what we've seen in years past, or maybe something a little tamer, or maybe something a little wilder than what we've seen?
I'll tell you what straight away. Because of the amount of entries that are going to be in trucks, like it has 42 and the limits back down to 36, I think a lot of the slower teams like Jennifer Jo Cobb and Brian Doza are not going to be in the race. And then you have like these newer teams like the second Bill McAnally car and then the Spire truck. And I think there's another one, if I remember. There's the new Chase Purdy car with Shigetori.
Don't forget the Veens trucks. Yeah.
Yes.
Don't forget the meme machines.
And then Clay Greenfield's in a random 84 truck. Like, there's going to be a lot of entries. My opinion is that the race is going to be much more chaotic than it was the year before. And it's not, and not in the way that you think. It's not going to be because like Jennifer Jo Cobb is going to have no brakes going into trying to make through the wreck like Lightning McQueen. But the thing that I believe is that you have so many good trucks that are all capable of winning, and they're going to be like 3x3 with like 5 to go, and someone's going to flip over. It happened in Matt Crafton. See, it's going to happen. I think there's going to be another flip in the truck series.
If there's any series that's due for a flip, it would definitely be the trucks. So here's the entry list, and of note here, a lot of the staples that usually show up at Daytona, you're not seeing them on there anymore. No Norm Benning on the entry list, Nemco didn't bring a truck to Daytona. The Spencer Davis 11 truck didn't bring a truck to Daytona. I know that
Roper is not at Daytona.
Roper skipped Daytona.
Roper. Yeah, that's sad. He was a quarter lap from winning the race last year, and he didn't show up. Though
I was hoping he did it.
I think the reason though that he's not showing up is because with all the new like truck equipment coming in, it's kind of set him back. He's aiming to like start entering races about mid-season, kind of like what he did a couple years ago. But no Benning, no Roper. The Nemco trucks didn't show up. No Spencer Davis. Who else? Well, Clay Greenfield's there, but he's driving for someone else now. Normally he would show up.
I'll tell you the weird one that hang on. I'll tell you the weird one with ThorSport. They're not entering the 13 like with some other like random driver because Johnny Sauter's driving the 47. But Ty Majeski is now full time, and I thought that was like the most random thing that has been under the radar because where did Ty Majeski like? How did he manage to get this full time ride in trucks when he was, I thought, done with NASCAR?
He's had he didn't he run a couple races with ThorSport last year?
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, he's just been on the late model circuit, fucking killing it, getting his stock back up.
He's so good in the late models.
Yes, and I think he's gonna have a stellar season for ThorSport in that 66 truck. By the way, I'm kind of curious as to why they went with the 66 over the 13.
I'm not sure about that either. The only guess I have is when I think of ThorSport and I think of 13, I think of Sauter. And
that's true.
They're running it now. Maybe they're just like, hey, new identity. Because their other numbers are 99, 98, and 88. And 13, so it was really kind of the odd one out.
It would have been perfect if Ben Rhodes, or it would have been funny if like Christian Eckes went to the 99 and Ben Rhodes changed his number to 77, so we would have 66, 67, 88, 99.
I could see him. I could unironically see them doing that sometime in the future. Oh, so yeah, it's going to be a very competitive field for the truck series, and I'm very interested in seeing how everything plays out, both in qualifying and in the race itself, whether it's nice and calm or whether it is a smash fest like it has been in recent years. So we will then pivot from the truck race to Xfinity. And I think that this one has the most movers and shakers from last year to now. Because once I get let me share my screen again here, and we will be good to go. So here is the entry list for the Xfinity race at Daytona. Again, 47 cars on the entry list here. Please load entry list so I don't get here with egg on my face. I love the joys of technology. But okay, here we go. So now it's starting to go. So maybe it's starting to go. But yeah, 47 on the entry list. And okay, here we go. So yeah, I mean, you've got like I say, you've got a lot of movers and shakers coming in. You've got Sam Mayer in the 1 car. You've got Sheldon Creed coming up from the trucks, jumping into the 2 truck. Bailey Curry finally gets a full-time gig in the 4 car for JDM. You've got Ryan Vargas full-time in the 6. You've got my boy, Josh Berry, in the 8 car. Landon Castle with a full-time gig. Daniel Hemrick, the defending series champion, moving to Colleague in the 11 car. And I'm just hitting on the high notes here. Drew Dollar in the 18 for the restrictor plate tracks. Austin
God
Hill.
bless the field.
Oh, yeah. Austin Hill in the 21. You've got Jeffrey Earnhardt as a teammate to Ryan Truex on the Sam Hunt team. You've got Sieg. You got Ryan Sieg entering 3 cars at Daytona. And a bit of an interesting note here. Apparently, the 39's owners points from last year transferred over to the 28.
Yeah.
So if it rains out, Sieg might miss the race. Though there was a tweet earlier today that said there was a contingency plan in place in case Ryan did miss the field. I had to guess. I would say he would jump into 28. But yeah, just a lot of movers and shakers here, and as you can see, 47 on the entry list. So the Xfinity race, I feel like the last 3-4 years has been typically the calmest race of the 3 that goes on during Speedweeks. So what do you think? Do you think that trend carries on, or do we see something off the chain?
No, I don't know.
I think this year will be the different year. There, in the previous years, you've had a lot of teams like Penske and Stuart Haas and Joe Gibbs. They all had teams and cars and whatnot. But this year, you got guys that are going to be scrapping to get not only in the field, but to get up there and win, because they're a lot of brand new teams. There's a lot of teams that need some money. Daytona pays.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's going to be pretty crazy, although I still think Colleague's going to dominate it.
You know, weirdly, something I noticed on that entry list that wasn't even announced until I just saw it. David Starr is in the 08.
Yeah, so the 17 team reverts back to the 08 for this year. I wasn't expecting that either. But and the manufacturers is wrong because SS Greenlight.
Yeah, that's meant to be Ford.
Yeah, SS Greenlight has aligned with Stuart Haas for this year. So they'll be running Fords. So yeah. By the way, one question here. Do you think, and this is a debate that has been going on for quite a bit the last little while, do you think the trucks and Xfinity need dual races?
Yes.
No.
Okay, so we've got differing opinions here. Landon, you go first.
Yeah, he can go first. I'll explain why.
Landon, you go first. Why do you say yes?
I used to think no, because I was like, these are the lower teams. They don't need to risk another race destroying some equipment. But we're at a point where we've got 40, 50 cars showing up to Daytona. I mean, it is what it is. Some people have to go home, but I don't know. Especially like last year, like when it got rained out and Jordan got screwed over for like half the season. If it was like, all right, yep, you don't have your time to come back on, but hey, you got a dual race. I don't know. I think it's needed, but I'm going to put in the asterisk of I only think it's needed if we have like over 45 entries.
Pirate, why do you say no?
Well, the reason why I say no is because in any dual race, like you have like the drivers, like the fastest cars will get in, obviously. But I want to bring up Ty Dillon back from the 500 last year. Ty Dillon was screwed out of the 500.
By like that much, too.
By that much, exactly.
He was that far away from knocking Ryan Preece out and making that 37 run only 15 races or some shit last year.
Listen, I can be okay if Ty made the race and Ryan Preece was out. I wouldn't be okay if a driver like Myatt Snyder, who's in Jordan Anderson's car, or here, let me get it back up. Like all the guys that we have are talented and have good cars are suddenly bumped out of the race because they're either wrecked in the duels or something happens to them. And like some schmuck comes in and takes their spot and ends up like not even doing well in the race. So I believe that it should be that the Xfinity and truck field should stay as qualifying and not the duels. But I can say yes if like the cars that were like slowest to begin with like don't even make the race at all. But it just depends with the duels. So that's why I'll say no.
Good deals. So we will now pivot to a great American race, the Daytona 500, and 42 cars on the entry list here. And six go-or go homers. So you've got 6 go-or go homers. So we've got Jacques Villeneuve, who's making his first crack at Daytona since what, 2008? Something like that?
Yeah. Somewhere around there.
Wasn't it 2008 that he attempted with Bill Davis and he got wiped out by what's his name?
Kirk Shelmerdine?
Sure. I don't think
Kirk Shelmerdine.
I don't think it was Shelmerdine.
No, Shelmerdine didn't try it. No, wait. It was Barrett. It was Stanton Barrett in that NOS car. He got wiped out by him. So Villeneuve's back. Greg Biffle's back. Kaz Grala driving for Floyd Mayweather, and then Yaley and Timmy Hill, JJ Yaley and Timmy Hill in the MBM cars, and then Noah Gregson in the 62 Beard car. So we'll punch up the entry list here. And again, I'll have to share my screen. I'll share my screen, and then we'll be good to go. So here's the entry list for the Daytona 500. And again, it's being slow and coming up. What do you know? But, yeah, we're actually going to be sending cars home, which I don't think everybody thought was going to happen this year, especially, like I said earlier, with the new car coming in and the supply chain shortages coming down. So, again, a lot of movers and shakers in this race, too. Now, I know we've talked a bit in the past about our thoughts about how this 500 is going to go. So you see the entry list. Who do you think? Do you think this race is going to be, mostly single file 2013 type stuff, or do you think it's going to be let the rough side drag?
I think it's going to be a mix of both. I think most of it is going to be like 2013 single file, just because there's a lot of people afraid about tearing cars up because they just don't have parts.
Yeah.
But I think the end's going to get stupid because you're just going to
because it always does.
Yeah.
There's no hiding.
One of my favorite people to listen to is Justin Marks, and he was on Sirius as I was coming home. He was talking about, he was like, yeah, we can formulate a plan all we want, but they're drivers. It's the 500. They're going to go for it. So he was like, I'm just going to hope they don't tear up too much.
Okay. The big question here, do we keep everybody on the ground this year in the 500?
Yes.
No.
Oh,
well, not by blowover, but by not by blowover. I'm not worried about the rear diffuser anymore. But all it
would take is one good hit in the back of the car to break that diffuser, and then if they get around, they're gonna go flying like a candy wrapper. Yep, exactly. So, Landon, you think they're gonna be on the ground. Pirate says we're gonna see a car flying. So, Landon again. Well, no, let Pirate go first this time.
Okay. Well, you summed it up for me. Like the cars, I'm not worried about the rear diffuser anymore, as I've said. But the weight shift, and if a car gets, you know what? Actually, what I believe is going to happen is that someone is going to get jacked up, and then they're just going to start rolling down the turn, like Austin Cindric did that one year. Like, I think it's going to be like that.
That's about the closest thing to a normal flip we've seen in like a decade.
Yeah.
Cindric going over like he did.
Yeah.
So, Landon, what do you think? I mean, you're the one saying they're going to stay on the ground.
I do think they're going to stay on the ground. And part of that is what I think is going to happen in the 500. Because I think it's going to be very calm. Calm as a 500 can be. but it's going to be calm up till the end. I think we're going to get a massive pileup. I think it's going to happen because I think you got like Stenhouse, you got Ricky. Same person. I meant
same person. Yeah, there's two of them. There's two of them ready to cause chaos.
We don't need two.
They're just going to go for it. They're just going to go for it. Logano, they're just going to go for
it. Brad's
all of the Penske's. All of the Penske's.
I think it's just going to cause a big pileup, but I don't think we're going to flip because I don't think we're going to have that kind of a crash. Maybe we do. I'm not worried about the rear diffuser. I personally don't think there is a possibility of it like breaking off because it's literally built into the whole underbody. It's from the front to the back. It's all one piece.
Gotcha.
I mean, I guess if you get hit hard enough, I guess anything can break, but I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. I don't think we'll see a flip at Daytona. I think we will this year, but I don't think it's going to happen in the 500.
Hashtag lock up Ryan Blaney. Okay, so going back, there you go. There's his Menards with you couldn't tell which logo it was on the hood. But yeah, so I'm going back to my notes here, and we'll whip around on a few different things. Let's start with Trevor Bayne making his grand return to the Xfinity series. What do y'all think about that?
I'm pretty hyped for that, actually. I mean, I'd be kind of stupid personally to say Bayne is like, a super underrated driver. I think people rate him about where he is, but he did pretty good in the Roush Xfinity car. So put him in a Joe Gibbs car. I'm kind of excited to see what he can do.
What
Trevor
say
Bayne's
you?
Going to win a race this year. Trevor Bayne's going to win a race this year. I really believe
maybe he will about that.
I know. I really believe that he can, and the reason being,
that'd be cool. I just don't know.
Trevor Bayne. No, I have faith
he might.
Because when he was with Roush, he did win races on track like Vegas and all these other you remember he won at Vegas with Roush, right? Like it was right after he got his 500 win, and one of the tracks that he had listed is Vegas. So I really believe that Bayne is going to win because, not because of the sole fact that he's good at Vegas, but I think he's got the best equipment that he's had ever in his entire career. Like I think he can do it.
I won't say best ever, but I think it's definitely up there.
It's up there.
Yes, most definitely up there. So why did I close out Jayski's right as I'm coming up to the next thing? So another big piece of news is Thad Moffitt, the grandson of Richard Petty, is coming to the Truck Series after hobnobbing around in ARCA 4 or 5 years at this point. But he's coming up running at
Daytona. Question about Bayne. He won at Texas, not Vegas. That's my bad.
Yeah, he did. He did win at Texas because that next year he had that awkward interview on ESPN.
Yep.
Yeah, he had that awkward interview on ESPN where he's just basically almost in tears on the side. Didn't he fail to qualify for that race? He failed to qualify for that race. So, yeah, I'm just waiting for the thing to come up here. Oh, I need a second. I need a clone of me that can direct this. This is what happened. This is why you don't host and direct. So I've got the image here.
While wait for that to come up.
Yes.
There was a pretty cool thing that came out today. Busch Light is sponsoring any female driver in NASCAR that's above 21.
I did see that.
Over 3 years, they're going to spend $10 million on sponsorship for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's
awesome.
That's
huge.
I did the math. I think they're about $475,000 per driver per year. If
Wow.
I get this correct. That's pretty damn cool. It's got drivers like Natalie Decker, who's an Xfinity Series, all the way to Brittany Zamora, I think is her name, in the super late models. Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's awesome of Busch to do that. I've been saying it for years. Busch is the best sponsor in NASCAR.
Yeah. So here is so I finally found Thad Moffat's scheme. Take a look at that. That is hot, man.
That is a classic STP scheme.
Yes, and that is, I believe that is a tribute scheme to Richard Petty's 1992 Fan Appreciation Tour scheme, which he ran every single race that year as it was his last. So yeah, STP is coming aboard. Rayome, it's a Rayome owned and GMS prepared truck. I mean, we've clowned Thad Moffitt a little bit, but what do you think of him getting this opportunity, and how do you think he does?
Well, let me ask real quick. Is this a one-off or is this a full-time entry?
It's not full-time, but I think he'll be running that truck at a handful of races this year.
Okay. Listen, I know, yeah, you're right. We meme Thad Moffitt along. I used to call him Tad Moffitt, but Thad Moffitt, he may be the 6th place king, but this is the best opportunity. This is the best opportunity this guy has had. GMS equipment in a car that's his grandfather's. I think, well, I hope he makes the race, first of all. If he does make the race, I think he might be someone who will fight for the win at the end if he's not like wrecked out, which I hope he's not, but I think he can be competitive in that truck.
It's Thad Moffitt. What do you expect?
Exactly. We don't know what to think about the guy.
I mean, you've watched him long enough in ARCA to kind of have some idea.
Oh, we lose our minds whenever he's not 6th place. You don't understand. It's like
That's
whenever
all.
he's in, it
He's
always
either
is like that.
He's either 6th place or he's wrecked out. No in between.
Or he's 4th.
Ooh, 4th. Hold me back.
Oh, praise the Lord Jesus. He's 4th.
Okay. So I guess the next big item on the list here, Kyle Busch Motorsports, KBM, going down to ARCA to field a car for Sammy Smith next year. So I must ask, does this make Smith the favorite in the ARCA series next year?
Possibly. I think that car will be the fastest. I'm not 100% sure about how he is. I know Ty was a awesome, like brilliant driver, so he had the fastest car and the best driver, so he was always at the top. I would assume he's going to be the favorite, but I just don't know enough about him. But I would assume so.
So, couple more things coming on. Talking about ARCA guys coming up to Cup, Jason Kitzmiller, who has been Cody Rohrbaugh's sort of longtime ARCA guy, is moving up to trucks. I don't know if this is full-time or just a one-off for Daytona. But yeah, Kitzmiller will be a teammate to Blaine Perkins in the 9 truck. Kitzmiller will be running the 97. For Loco coming to NASCAR as a sponsor with Ryan Ellis and the 44/45 team. What do y'all think about that?
For Loco, I mean, it's money, so can't say anything about that. I am personally not a fan of their products.
That's
but
a shock.
Hey, it's money. It tastes so bad. It tastes so bad. But
that's not stopped you. That's not stopped you in the past, Monfrere. That's not stopped you in the past.
Did you just call him Monfrere?
Monfrere. It's French for my brother. I tried to be all fancy schmancy there, and it just failed miserably.
Okay, listen.
So,
yes. Honestly, though, I don't know if I want to say any opinion on Foro Loco sponsoring Ellis. I don't drink, So obviously I won't like bash their product, but the whole deal is Four Loko such a high like alcoholic company, and they're sponsoring Ryan Ellis for Tommy Joe Martins. That's a big boost for that team. Like,
yeah, if ever there was an alcohol company that you could define as a polished turd, I think Four Loko would be it, because you've got your Budweisers, you've got your Millers, you've got all that stuff. That's the top shelf stuff. That's the top shelf to Angry Orchard drinking. But then you have this crap like Four Loko that's just, if you could polish a turd and sit it on a desk, that's what Four Loko is. All of that stuff. Fucking Four Loko, Boone's Farm, Mad Dog. It's just polished turds.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
This is by the way, this is gonna be a great out of context preview. The polished turd talk is gonna be great out of context preview. So, while we're on the topic of meme stuff, there is an ARCA driver who is making his debut in the ARCA race at Daytona this week. I think his name is Brayton Laster. Brayton Laster is his name. And he posted on the NASCAR Reddit page a picture of the helmet that he will be using for his debut at Daytona. And I gotta say,
yes,
it is one of the best helmets I've ever seen, even if it is a meme.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting. I'm scrolling. I hope it didn't get deleted.
The ambition is real.
The ambition is most definitely real. And Brayton, I don't know if there's been an ARCA entry list revealed yet, but excuse me. I don't know if there's an ARCA list that's been revealed, but he should make the race, Brayton. And there's another first timer on there, Zach Tinkle on r/NASCAR as well, who's making his debut in the ARCA race at Daytona coming up pretty soon. But Brayton shows up at Daytona with a wrapped helmet. It's nothing but pizza.
Yep.
Nothing but pizza. And I've got it teed up here finally after all that scrolling. So here is, ladies, can I get a drum roll, please? Can I please get a drum roll? God almighty, pirate, calm down. I don't know what it. Okay, I've got to tell the folks. I don't know what it is about Pirate, but before we started, when I sent the link out to Landon, he sent it out to Pirate and all who wanted to come in. Pirate came in shrieking at the top of his lungs.
Yep.
We just all jump out of her skin. But there you see, hopefully, the pizza helmet that Brayton Laster will be using at Daytona for the ARCA race coming up in a few days. So give us like 30 seconds of your thoughts about that.
I love it. I love it so much. I love that helmet.
It's just like, what I love about it, what I love about it most is that it's not like artist drawn or anything like that. It's just generic Google image search pepperoni and cheese pizza wrapped on a helmet. I love it. I don't know why, but I love it.
I think the best part about it is just that it's just, you don't see any sponsors on there except for the visor, but it's just the pizza. I love it. I love it so much.
So, I guess we'll spend the last 20 minutes or so of this deal on what everyone's been waiting for, predictions. So this will be a thing that we will do over the course of the season. I just know I'm gonna finish like fucking 12 picks below 500, if that. But hell, we'll give her a shot anyway. We'll give her a shot anyway. So we will start. We'll go in order here. And by the way, with these picks, we will only focus on the top 3 series. We'll focus on the Truck Series, we'll focus on Xfinity, and we will focus on the Truck Series. So, number 1 truck race at Daytona. Who you got? And tell a little bit about why you have the person you're going to pick. Landon, go first, and we will go clockwise. You're muted. Landon, you're muted. You're muted.
He's muted. He's muted.
Got it.
You idiot.
Trucks.
Yes.
I am going for Grant Enfinger.
Ooh, why are you going with Enfinger?
He is very good on the super speedways, and GMS is fast.
Pirate. Pirate. Who are you picking?
Hold on, I'm looking at the entry list real quick. I'm trying to see. Because
damn it, Pirate, be ready.
Hey, come on, give me a break. Okay.
I'm writing all these.
Okay, I've got a wild pick that no one, I think, has said.
Oh
yet.
Boy, who say it?
He is in a new team with hopefully a team that will support him because he was like the 4th guy.
Can I guess? Can I guess who you're gonna pick?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Ankrum.
Colby Howard.
No, he got it right. It's Tyler Ankrum.
Tyler Ankrum.
Tyler Ankrum.
Ankrum's not that wild of a pick.
Well, no, I feel like it is because GMS and ThorSport are going to be like the center of attention for the truck race, and I think with Tyler Ankrum now being the center of focus instead of like the fact that he was in GMS, I think Ankrum can like pull out. Like, oh God, I'm not even going to finish that sentence.
Damn it, Tyler.
I think Tyler Ankrum is going to be a late factor at the end, and he's going to win.
I'd be down for an Ankrum win, though he's not who I'm going to pick. You want a crazy pick? I'll give you a crazy pick. You ready?
Go ahead.
Parker Kligerman.
Actually, that's not bad. That's
Parker
not bad.
Kligerman to win Daytona. Now watch him miss the race by like that much, like he did last year. Just to rub it in a little bit more. So, Xfinity. So, okay, for the trucks, Landon, you've got Grant Enfinger. Pirate, you have Tyler Ankrum. I have Parker Kligerman.
Yep.
So now we will pivot to Xfinity. And Landon, again, we'll start with you. And again, we will go clockwise. He's rubbing his hands together already. I already know who he's going to pick.
This is a popular one if it wins. I want Landon Castle to win at Daytona.
Ooh, yes. Yes. I would so be down for that. Pirate, what say you?
I'm going with another Collie guy, and he was the guy who won the championship last year. And I made this pick, like, I think 6 months ago when Hemrick was at his lowest. Daniel Hemrick is going to win at Daytona. But I will give a dark horse pick as well.
No, you can only give one.
All right.
You can only give one. But once we get through, you can give dark horses.
Okay, I'll give the dark. Okay, we'll do that. Yeah.
Okay, so Landon has Landon has Landon Castle, his namesake.
Landon
Pirates got Castle's teammate, Daniel Hemrick. And the pick that I'm going with is the guy that's on my head right now, Josh Berry, to slip up and win at Daytona. Junior Motorsports is due for a Daytona.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. They're due.
And Barry, I think is going to surprise a lot of people.
I hope so.
A lot of people this year. So, Landon has his namesake, Landon Castle. Pirate has Daniel Hemrick. I've got Josh Berry. Now, the big race, the Great American Race, Sunday afternoon, Daytona Beach, Florida. The Daytona 500. So again, we'll start with Landon, and we'll go clockwise. Who you got to win the big one, buddy?
I've had this pick for a while. We said that there wasn't much you can pull from the Clash. So I'm hoping that stays true because I'm not too confident in my pick after his performance in the Clash. But I've been saying it for months, so I'm going to stick with it. Brad Keselowski gets this 500
win. That's a bit of a spicy pick.
Oh, wait till you.
Oh,
see
no.
what I have.
Oh, can I guess?
Nope. Sure, go ahead.
Is it Daniel Hemrick again?
No, it is not Daniel Hemrick.
Is it Justin Haley?
No. Now,
okay, say what it is.
Okay, this one, I think this guy needs to win this year because last season he had a rough rookie year, and I think this year with the next gen he should finally show his promise. For Daytona, I'm going all out. I think Chase Briscoe is going to win the 500.
Ooh, Briscoe becoming a Daytona 500 champ.
I think he's going for it. I think this is his time.
I'm not going to lie, Pirate. I think that's pretty out of left field, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I know.
Okay.
And I'll say, I think Briscoe wins this year. I just don't know.
I think he does too.
He never was
okay, yes. If he doesn't win the 500, he is going to win this year and maybe on track like Darlington.
Yeah. Okay. Every fiber of my being is telling me not to pick this driver. But if you look back over the last 5 or 6 years, he's been the safest pick. And as bad as I hate to do it, I believe
it's Dennis.
That your winner of the 2022 Daytona 500 will be none other than Dennis James.
Yeah, it's
Hamlin.
Dennis. I knew it.
Denny Hamlin. I gotta.
I do not blame that pick.
I do not want to go 0-3 on this weekend. I do not want to go 0-3 on this weekend. So I got to cover my tracks on at least one.
You're willing to leave your Alex Bowman religion just to say
Bowman has no luck. He has to look.
He lost every single race at 500.
Bowman never finishes at Daytona. He's absolutely right.
He can't. He's cursed at Daytona and Talladega. He's cursed, especially in the 500.
Yeah, he's
now
like
watch the year.
Now
watch the year I say that is the year he finally wins it. And he beats Denny Hamlin in a photo finish.
Right.
He beats Denny Hamlin in a photo finish.
Oh man!
All right, so we've got so we've got all of our picks for the respective series. Those are all locked in. So Landon has Grant Enfinger, Landon Castle, and Brad Keselowski for his picks. Pirate has
Tyler Ankrum,
and Daniel Hemrick and Chase Briscoe for the 500. And I've got Parker Kligerman, Josh Berry, and Denny Hamlin for Speedweeks. So now we'll go sort of off the beaten path. Dark horse picks. Who do you think might surprise some people?
You can go.
I'm looking
Brian.
at. No, I'm waiting for you.
That's silence. I love it.
I'm waiting for you. We're still going clockwise.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
start with Landon. Go clockwise.
Let's start with the trucks. Damn. The person I want to say I don't think would be that much of a dark horse considering his performance the past 2 years, but I'm gonna mention him, but that's not gonna be my pick. I think Jordan is gonna have another good run.
Of course you'd say Jordan. No, he has finished second the last 2 years.
My pick is Blaine Perkins.
Ooh,
that 9 truck has been fast at
Mm.
Daytona, and Perkins did good in the Xfinity Series at Talladega. So
yeah, he was.
Hey, you
Pirate,
know what's funny?
say you.
You know what's funny? I was gonna say Blaine Perkins, but because he said it, I'll do someone else.
Okay.
Because it's only fair.
Oh,
my dark horse pick is actually who you picked to win the race. I think Parker Kligerman's going to be my dark horse.
Now I'm torn between two. I'm torn between Colby Howard and Brett Holmes.
Oh, I forgot about Brett Holmes.
We all saw how good Holmes. He was in the top 5 all day.
I totally forgot about Brett Holmes.
I totally forgot about Brett Holmes. That dude could have won Talladega. That's a good shot.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Okay, my dark horse pick. I'm going for the underdog story. I'm saying Brett Holmes. Now,
I'd love.
We'll go to Xfinity now and go with our dark horses. Again, Landon, clockwise.
Damn. Do I really? Oh man. Do I want to?
I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say.
What am I gonna say?
Maya Snyder.
Maya Snyder.
Incorrect.
Okay, and who is it?
How are you going against Jordan? Come on.
I'm not. My dark horse pick is going to be Ryan Sieg. I think those Fords.
Is he really a dark horse now, though?
Yeah, he kind of is because of the whole Ford fiasco.
He's had a rough season. His performance isn't looking up, so yeah, I think so. But there's a lot more Fords. He's always fast at Daytona, so.
That's true.
I'm going for
Pirate. What say you?
Okay.
Oh God. Get ready.
This one is a guy that should have won it in trucks. Back when Shigetori was first starting. And he's in this ride for a limited amount of time to finally prove himself. I think Ryan Truex is going to be my dark horse.
Ooh, that's not a bad pick. That's not a bad pick.
I mean, I can't say Jeffrey Earnhardt because he might.
Well, they'll both probably be up there. So,
well, they're both going to be in the race because of points. They both got great point sales in that. I got hair in my mouth,
which ain't hard to do when you have hair like his. So, I'm thinking of possible dark horses in the Xfinity race. Dark horses in the Xfinity race.
Yeah, there's not that many if you look at the entry list.
You know who I think could do it? Why are you laughing? Come on. All right. What do you think I'm going to say? What do you think I'm going to say?
When there's 47 cars on the entry list.
Yes. Oh, I have my pick. You ready?
Yeah. Yes.
Alex LeBay.
I like that.
Oh, I like that. He's going to be he's going to have to race his way in because the 90s points got transferred over.
Yeah. Or no. Well, wait a minute. Though the 36 points went to the 91 car. That's the one that Mason Massey's going to be in.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. But yeah, I think LeBay should be fast enough to get in. And he normally keeps his nose clean at Daytona, so we'll have to wait and see. So, Great American Race. We'll do our dark horse picks for that, and then we'll get out of here. Daytona 500. Dark horse picks. Who do you think? Landon, we'll start with you again.
I've got two names that are on my mind. One, I'm not going to count as a dark horse because I don't think he qualifies as that. But I'm going to mention his name anyway. It's not my pick though. David Reagan. I think.
Oh, you stole my pick!
That's not my pick. Not my pick. I just wanted to mention him. I think he's going to have a good run, especially in a Rick Ware car. My pick is Kaz Grala.
Which was my pick.
Beautiful.
Let's go.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay. I'll take this one because he's my favorite driver and because Lamy stole my pick. I think Daniel Suarez is a good dark horse for the 500.
I like that.
Okay. Since Landon sniped me out of David
I'll shout out
Reagan.
Ross Chastain too, because why not? Because Trackhouse is
You son of a I give up, y'all. I give up.
No, you can pick Chastain.
No.
There's a lot more dark horses left.
Okay. I've got my dark horse pick. I'm going with the man that I thought would win the Clash, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Or a dark horse.
Another person we can mention up 500 is Landon Castle.
Oh, I forgot he was going to be in the field. He's in the 77. Oh my God. Oh, it's been a week, y'all. It's been a week. So my brain is like Swiss cheese. So on that bombshell, we will end this episode and we will convene next Monday for a jam-packed episode talking about all the happenings. Yeah. Oh God. If it cross your fingers for no
I've
rain.
I've checked the weather. Florida weather is usually determined at like the day before it happens or a couple days before.
Yeah,
Tuesday,
true.
Wednesday, and Thursday look fine. As for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that's up in the air.
Oh, great.
Have fun, boys.
Shut your mouth. We do not need rain shenanigans right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, one and all, for watching this week's episode. And again, we will get with you next Monday to go over the happenings of Daytona and break down the events and the happenings and all that good stuff. So that is Pirate, that is Landon, and for those two, I am Jon Phipps saying so long, and until next week, take care.
Super.